Okay, so hey everybody, this is Cleta Colson-Eyre. It is May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. May the 4th, 2020. And I am so super pumped and grateful to have my good girlfriend, Stacy Foust, to speak with you tonight. And I'm going to read a little bit about her, except for I got the wrong accolades. Hang on just a minute. I got Michelle Arms accolades. Stacy, that'd be cool, wouldn't it? So let me get the right ones on here. Stacy, did you email that to me or did you text it to me?
Emailed.
You emailed. Okay, hang on just a minute, you guys. I printed them out and I printed out the wrong one. Here we go. No, just a minute, Miss Stacy. Stacy. Okay, hang on, Stacy. This is important, you guys. Stacy is a big deal. There she is. Okay. Here we go. Got it. Okay. So you guys, Stacy started her Mary Kay business in May of 1985. She debuted as a Mary Kay sales director in June of 1989, the same year I did. She has earned 17 Mary Kay cars. The last 15 have been pink Cadillacs. She earned the monthly company Go Give Award May 1995 and December 2012, and the yearly Go Give Award for Seminar 2013, and that's the highest honor in the company. She's been named to the National Queen's Court of Sales 9 times, winning 9 diamond rings. She has been in the unit club, that's when your unit does at least 300,000, okay? Every year since she debuted as a sales director, 20 times in the $500,000 club or more. She has been on the top director trips with her husband, Terry, to Scotland, Austria, Turkey, Greece, 3 times to Hawaii, 2 times to France, 2 times to Italy, Monte Carlo, China, England, Canada, an Alaskan cruise, along with Chile and Argentina, and Hawaii and Lanai last year. She has been in the Mary Kay Circle of Excellence 15 times. So 15 times she and her husband have been on the top director trips. Her highest unit club was $1 million, and she has done this not once, not twice, not 3 times, 4 times. 4 different years, her unit did over $1 million in sales. In 2011, she was the #1 unit, the #1 director of the #1 unit in the Emerald Seminar. #1, the queen. So she has like a big honking crown, diamond, bumblebee, everything. Okay, her highest check in 1 month, $22,300. So I want y'all to think about your bank account. And I want you to think about if on the 15th you checked your account and go, oh, there's $22,000 I didn't know I had. What would you do with it? Okay. All right. She currently has 2 first-line offspring directors, Christy and Belinda, and she's married to Terry for 35 years. They have 2 daughters, Taylor and Maddie. And here's the thing about Stacy. Stacy and I met, we're not in the same seminar, so we would see each other maybe at leadership conference because we're in the Ruby seminar. But I remember meeting her in Beijing, China, at this little place where they were doing these signs. And actually, I have mine. I'll show it to you. Which I know China's kind of got a bad rap right now, but these were nice people. So we all got we had this little thing we did, and they painted, this supposedly says my name, Mary McCleta Colson. It could say, I don't even know what it really could say, but anyway, that's what they told me it said. But we got those done. We got all this other things that we got painted and just had the best time. And I just remember thinking, what a classy lady. And I just remember thinking, I just really just think so much of her. Well, we became friends through the years, through seeing each other on top director trips. And last year, my favorite memory of our top director trip was this. We got to play golf in Lanai, or Lanai is what they call it, on a PGA golf tournament course that was absolutely breathtaking over the ocean. And so her husband, Terry, and Brad and I got to play together. And then Bill Harmon and Lisa-Ann Harmon. Lisa-Ann drove and took pictures, and Bill played. And it was really just the highlight of my whole entire trip. I know the beaches were awesome and all that, but playing that golf on that course, it was just awesome. And she can hit the ball, believe me. So we had just a wonderful time. And so she and I were talking, and her and her husband and my husband and I and a couple other couples, Karen Rottle and Lisa Ann Harmon, we've been getting together on Saturday nights for the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks on Zoom. Like this 2-3 hours, just no telling what all we've talked about. But anyway, I've really got to know them better. And she was sharing with me how her unit and herself have done awesome in recruiting this last month. And they're on fire. Well, they're $1 million unit. So there you go. So I said, Stacy, would you please come share with my team? And so last night on our Boss Babe call, you guys were privileged to hear Lisa Ann Harmon. And so now I'm bringing my other cohort. And this is the fabulous Stacy Foust. So Stacy, just take it over. We can't wait to hear from you. And I want to let you know that when you're ready, I can pull up the recruiting notebook and your script, the screen share. So just let me know when you want me to do that. Okay?
Perfect. Oh my gosh, you guys, when Cleta asked me to do this, I'm like, of course, absolutely, of course. Because first of all, I owe this woman a lot. Like, she has helped me so much. You guys have no idea what an amazing director you have. She's an idea person. She's got $1 million ideas. And it's because of Cleta that we have this option right now, this $30 starter kit, this $100 starter kit, and the $130 starter kit. So Cleta, oh my goodness, I would do anything for you. Girl, you are so amazing. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I just love hanging around with idea people. I am a maximizer. I do not have any of my own creative ideas, but I steal and pilfer everybody else's, and then I maximize them. And so I cannot take credit for the recruiting notebook. I cannot take credit for what I'm sharing with you guys tonight, but I love idea people. They're like fire and I'm air. So together we like blaze the trail, right? So one of the things that I want to talk to you guys about is this Discover What You Love recruiting notebook. And if you haven't had a chance to really utilize this yet, I want to encourage you to do that. So this was kind of like the perfect storm. Karen introduced this to us in January, and then at Leadership Conference, I was talking to several directors, one of them, Vicki Piccarelli, and she was talking about this No Challenge that she had run the year before. And I'm like, my directors were there too, and they're like, No Challenge? Like, what do you mean No Challenge? And a No Challenge is to get 10 no's in a row to the opportunity. I double dog dare you guys. It does not happen. I have not yet had one consultant get 10 no's in a row after sharing this recruiting notebook. And we've been doing this since January, guys. So before I share with you guys what the No Challenge is in this recruiting notebook, I got to tell you some of the results, because I really want you to listen with an open mind and an open heart. Because when I first put it out there, it was a little slow to go, but then it like picked up great momentum. And this last month with the No Challenge, I'm going to read this off to you guys. We had 1 gold medal winner, 3 bronze medal winners, 2 people go on target for their cars, and I couldn't even count up how many reds and new seniors that we got this last month. So I'm telling you, it really works. And right now is the perfect storm, because we have this $30 e-start along with our starter kit. And so it's a really great time to put this into action. So the No Challenge is to get 10 no's in a row. And so I want you guys to kind of think along these 3 lines. Number 1, I want you to think about 3 people you would love to travel with. Cleta, I saw Allison on here too. Allison, 3 people that you know you would love to travel with, and you could like travel with them anywhere. They'd be great travel buddies. So think through all the people that you know that you would love to travel with. Okay, number 2, think of 3 people whose lives are so incredibly awesome right now that their lives are so perfect they wouldn't even entertain the idea of being a Mary Kay Beauty consultant, okay? Think of 3 people whose lives are so amazing. And then I want you to think about 3 people who would really rock this Mary Kay business. 3 women who would really rock this Mary Kay business because they have the traits that you're looking for. And then a wild card. So that's 10, right? 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 1 is 10. When I threw this challenge out, Erica Moreno was at my meeting, and I love the early initiators. So I want you to think about this tonight. Make that list, text it to your director. Erica texted it to me that night after I announced this and went to work on this like right away. She said it was like a mind shift in her brain. Like, instead of looking for people you think will join your team, look for those people who their lives are so awesome you don't think they're going to join your team. And guess what? They join your team. Some of them do, some of them don't. And so she took this challenge, and she had 0 consultants on her team that night. Went home, and within 3 weeks was in a red jacket. You guys, this really works. I'm telling you, it really works. Okay, so I gave Cleta a script, and she can share that with you to set up the no challenge. But basically, you're just asking women to listen and to help you practice going through this Discover What You Love notebook. And so I'm going to go through it with you, just kind of roll through the book. So Cleta.
Okay, you need to pull up the book or the script?
Yep. Can you post the script later?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so hang on and I'll pull it up. Okay. I'm going to pull up the book, and you can just talk.
Yep.
We won't see you, we'll just see, well, I'll see you on the side there. So here we go.
Okay. Thank you, Karen Rydell, for putting this together. And I think Lisa Ann Harmon had something to do with one of the pages. But that first page, so when you're sitting down with them, and we're doing everything virtual right now, everything. You can do it in the Zoom room, you could do it over the phone. But these questions really work, you guys. So don't deviate. Will you pinky promise me? Don't deviate. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to thank them. Thank you so much for getting together with me today. This means the world to me. And so I'm just going to ask you some questions and tell you a little bit about Mary Kay, and would love to have you role play with me. And I always do set it up that, you know, if this starts to sound like you, great. I'd love to have you on my team, and tell her why. And if not, you're going to be armed and dangerous with some great information. And you might know somebody that would be really great at this that could, you know, really benefit from a business like this. So set it up, you guys. I want them to truly role play with me. If you don't set it up, some people will role play with you, and they'll tell you what they think you want to hear. Mm-hmm. But you really want them to like really do this with you, okay? So that's page 1. Tell them a little bit, like, tell me a little bit about you. I'm going to ask you a little bit about you. I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. I'm going to tell you about the Mary Kay company, answer any questions. So you're just kind of bullet pointing right straight through there. The second page, getting to know you. These questions, you don't need to ask them all, you guys. These questions are set up to give you places to go. So use your gut a little bit in these. I always ask that first question, even though I know you, Cleta, tell me a little bit about you, like in your own words. So I'm really listening for some clues on, you know, who they are. So if they start talking about their job first, they're probably that D dominant personality. They make quick decisions. They just need the facts. Give me the facts, ma'am. That's all they need, right? If they start telling you about their family, they're probably an S, and they're going to want to know, how is this going to work with my family? How is this going to like come together and benefit my family? If they start telling you everything, they're probably an I. It's going to be a long interview, and that's okay. But they want to know about the fun and the sisterhood, and they want to know it all. And if they ask you a question, you know, what do you want to know? They're most likely a C, and they are probably not going to make a quick decision that night. They're going to want to know the facts as well, and they're going to need some information to go home and digest. Okay, so that's why I love to ask this question, because whatever they talk about first is kind of the direction I'm going to go.
Let me pause you for a second. For those of you that maybe are just coming in new to Mary Kay, or you've never heard, you're like, what does that mean, DISC? Okay, if you don't know what the DISC is, a personality thing, I want you just to text your director when it's over, and we can give you a little sheet on that, because it's just dominant, influencing, compliant, and steady. So, or steadfast, yes. So I just want to throw that out in case you think I don't get what she's saying. So text your director, say send me the stuff on DISC. Okay, go ahead, Stacy. Thank you.
Okay. So what do you love most about your life or your job? I love asking that one. So whatever ones you want to role play with. If money and time were of no issue, how would you like to be living your life a year from now? And really just listen and take in that information. Are you paid what you're worth? You don't need to ask all those questions. Really review them, pick out your favorites. Or, for Cleta, I might ask, tell me about a time in your life that you felt really successful. What was going on in your life? Kind of pick out a few, okay? So far, so good?
Good.
The next page. The next page, you're really going to want to put your goals in there. People want to know what you're working on. People will support you when they know what you're working on. When I was a brand new Mary Kay beauty consultant, my first goal was to get new curtains and new carpet. So I literally had a poster in my dining room of the curtains I was going to get from JCPenney's and the little swatch of carpet that I was going to get from, I don't even know what store it was. But that people want to know that you have a goal and that you're working on something. And the funny thing is, when I did an individual consultation with Sally DeGuy, who's one of my very first consultants who's still with me today, we sat down and she goes, do you think I could do this? I really have some home improvement projects I need to work on. We need new carpet. You never know. You never know. So share your goal. Next page, getting to know Mary Kay Cosmetics. Pick out your favorites here too. You're not going to go through literally everything. You're just going to kind of pick out your favorites. This is what I love to say. I love to say, did you know that Mary Kay Ash was a real person, not like Betty Crocker? She really did exist. And what I loved about Mary Kay is she started this company on a foundation that, our products have changed, our marketing has changed, but our foundation will never change. And she built this company, number one, on the golden rule: do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And the priorities of putting God first, family second, career third. And she really believed that in that order, everything works, and out of that order, nothing works. And I just love the heart of Mary Kay. And my favorite boxes are built by a woman for women. And I also just love to talk about, sometimes I'll talk about what she's donated, or that she started this foundation that donates money to cancers affecting women and domestic violence homes. But you can choose anything off the menu that you want to share. But what you're excited about, the energy is just going to come through. So pick out the things that you're excited about. This next page is amazing. So this was designed by Lisa Ann Harmon, Barbara Sundin, with a little influence from Karen Rydell. So Mrs. F. Cab is retired. We're not going to use Mrs. F. Cab as an acronym anymore, because those things do not apply to today's woman, but these bubbles do. And so when I get to this page, I would say, hey, Cleta, I'm going to list off 11 gifts that women have found from their Mary Kay career. And I want you to select 2 or 3 that we can talk about. And what I found is if you send this page to them ahead of time, it's easier for them to choose them. If you haven't had a chance to send it ahead of time, if you'll number them, like 1, personal and professional growth is valued. 2, financial security. If you'll number them, it'll be easier for them to remember what you just listed off. And they'll always select 2 or 3. And the ones that they're really selecting a lot today is financial security, multiple streams of income, and an environment empowering women, or the sisterhood. Women are looking for connection and money. Connection and money. And so when they select, 1, 2, or 3 off of here, you're just going to kind of share a few thoughts on them. So if they say financial security, I would say, in a recession, and we are in a recession, you guys, they've even named this recession. forgot, Terry's not here. He can always remember the name of the recession, the Great Lockdown. It's the Great Lockdown recession of 2020. But in a recession, Mary Kay always does better. This is my 4th recession, you guys, in Mary Kay. My first recession, we earned our first Cadillac. The second one, we earned our first trip. The third one, we earned our first prestige trip. It's a time that you can really increase your business to a new level. And recruiting always goes up. Cosmetic sales always goes up during a recession. So now is the time. So talking to them about creating financial security or multiple streams of income right now. Women are looking for that. And then the sisterhood, it doesn't take much to talk about that. We love the sisterhood, right? All right. Any questions so far, Cleta? Are we good?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. The next page, you're going to talk about the different levels of income. Here's what I'm going to encourage you to do. Get 3 of your weekly accomplishment sheets. One when you were on vacation and you still were selling. One that was like your best week ever. And then one an average week. And I want you to show them how you are making money, okay? You can go over these individually, but your weekly accomplishment sheets will be really the best recruiting tool you could ever have. So I want you to share those.
What do you tell your new consultants to say right here if they hadn't had any, weeks yet?
If they haven't had any sales at all, well, first of all, I do recommend doing, if you're a new consultant, doing this with your recruiter or your director for pearls of sharing. So the first 3 I do and they watch. The second 2 they do and I watch. And then if they need more, I'm here for them. But by that time, most people are ready to rock and roll, especially with this tool. You guys, this is a tool that you can take. You don't have to wait for Cleta or your director or your recruiter. You can learn this with them and then take it out and, rock this business for sure.
For sure.
Is that helpful, Cleta?
Perfect.
Okay, and that will give you a little bit of time to get your own sales. And if you don't have weeks like that yet, share with them, if you sold 10 charcoal masks to 10 friends, share that with them. Share what you are doing. That'll be really helpful. Okay. And then the advantages. So I just have them list well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. There are 8 of them. I have a different version. Yes. So you're going to just list those off too and ask them to select like 1 or 2 that appeals to them the most. And again, if you number them, that's going to be really helpful for them to, if this is not in front of them. Does that make sense?
All right. If your book is better than mine, just send it to me. This is I got this one in February, so.
I don't know why mine is different. Anyway.
Is this page on yours?
Yep, that page is on there.
Okay, go ahead.
So the last 2 pages are my favorite pages, you guys. This is so well done. Like all you have to do is go boop, boop, boop. Okay, so what does it take to get started? Ordering a starter kit. And right now we have options. You're going to just tell them the options. You can start with a $30 e-start. Gives you a website and your pro pay to take credit cards for a whole entire year. And that gives you access to all kinds of freebies, free apps, all kinds of free stuff. The $100 starter kit is our traditional way of starting. It gives you almost $400 in full-size products plus your date book plus a really cute bag. Everything that you need to run your business is in that bag, which is another great way to start. But my favorite way to start is both. You can get the $100 kit and the e-start for $130, and you are set up, girl, for a whole entire year as a medical beauty consultant. Inventory is optional. I highly recommend it, especially after we're done being virtual, because if you've got products right there, people are more apt to buy, but you get to decide how you want to run your business. They do offer a 90% buyback guarantee, and I got to tell you, if I would not have known about this, I may not be here today. So I love that Mary Kay is willing to take a 90% risk on every person who ever gets started with Mary Kay. And our risk is 10%, which means in the first year, if you order products on hand, Mary Kay is going to back you 90% and your risk is 10%. Think about that. Nobody else offers that. I love that. Don't you guys love that? I kind of took this page out. This is a page that I give as a handout, or I email it to them to share with them what comes in the starter kit, but I don't necessarily go over it because most of my appointments right now are virtual and they can't see this anyway. So I send it to them. And then the closing questions. Okay, I have 4. You have 6. So, okay, what impressed you the most about everything that you heard today? And let them just share. Nobody has said nothing. And so I hope you're taking notes while you are asking them these questions, but write down everything that impressed them. Number 2, what qualities, what do you have?
That's number 4 on this one. This says, if you don't become a consultant today, how will your life be different a year from now? And then if you were to become a consultant, what would be improved in a year from now?
Gotcha. So I love the what qualities do you have? I've never asked this before this notebook. Never. I was afraid they would say, I don't know. Do you know? Nobody has said that. All of them give you their qualities. I like working with people. I love cosmetics. I love doing social media. You guys are going to be so amazed. They're like selling you on why they'd be a great Mary Kay beauty consultant. So that's a really good one. Number 3, in your wildest dreams, if you were to become a Mary Kay beauty consultant, what would be the biggest benefit for you? That's not in yours. This is such a great question, you guys, because it leads directly to their why. Why would they do this? Whatever they answer there is going to be what you're going to come back to them with, because it's speaking their language.
Could you repeat that one more time?
In your wildest dreams, if you were to become a Mary Kay beauty consultant, what would be the biggest benefit for you?
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
So if they come back and say, I had somebody, I've got notes here. I have all the interviews that we've been doing. So people will say, oh gosh, sorry. The social, having a big network, being involved, the money, the fun. There's so many reasons why women are looking at this. And so if it's the girl tribe, then I usually say, that's one of the reasons I started Mary Kay, because I was new to Des Moines and I didn't know anybody when I started Mary Kay. And my best friends are in Mary Kay today. It is the best way to meet people. So whatever they say, bring it back and talk a little bit more about why that's such a great reason. And then number 4, on a scale of 1 to 4, 1 being, nope, never, not for me, 4 being, oh my gosh, this sounds so much fun. Let's do it. Where would you be? And whatever they say, if they're a 4, I say, great, let's go ahead and get you started. Here's what we need to do. But if they're a 1, 2, or 3, you gotta ask this question, and it's not in the book, and it's pivotal. What would it take for you to be a 4? Because that's how you're gonna get their objection or what they're thinking. And sometimes they're like, I just need to get paid on Friday, or I need to talk this over with my husband, or I just need to think about it a little bit more. What do you need to think about? Can I give you some information? So whatever they're saying there can help you move them closer. And for some people, they're just not, if they're not interested, that's great. But sometimes it's a timing issue. So I ask them, is it a no, not now, or a no, not never? To figure out if it's just a timing issue. All right. I know I went through that really, really fast.
No, but that's good though. And if you have it, ladies, she's not done yet, but but I will post this notebook again, but I'll have her post her page, and then you can use whichever one of them you like the best. Does that sound good? So just send me your notebook, and then I can have that page that you use too. You know what I mean? Stacy?
Yes, I will.
Okay, perfect. All right, go ahead.
Okay. I am done now.
Okay. Okay, so Stacey, I just want to ask you a couple questions, and then you guys, I want you in the chat, which some people are saying they need to know, but don't worry, I'll send it to you for sure. So let's say they go, all right, Stacey, I wasn't going to do this, but I think I want to do it. So walk me what you would say next, because I know some of the consultants like, well, then what do I do? I mean, some of it's, just go ahead and say. So I'm saying, all right, maybe I will do this. I'm gonna do it.
So I would probably say, Cleta, I am so excited to hear that. Here's why I think you would be a great consultant, because I want to set them up. You're so great at talking with people, and I just know you love the product so much. You're going to be a natural. Let's go ahead and get you started. I'm going to send you an e-link right now, and what you'll do is you'll get that and go ahead and fill it out. And the minute I see it come through, we're going to set up a session for you. I want to introduce you to all the free apps. I'm going to show you how to set up your website. How does that sound?
Okay, that sounds good. That sounds good.
Good.
And then once you get them signed up, let's say, they sign up, then the next day you go ahead and talk to them a little bit about inventory and some other things like that too. Or do you have an appointment to talk to them the next day, or you just call them? I'm just asking this because I know some of our consultants go, well, then what? When she got your directors are going to help you. When she sees you get a recruit, don't worry. We're like all over it. But Stacey, what do you do?
Absolutely. So I would also tell her my director is going to be in touch with you. I always send out a text when a new consultant comes on board, and my consultants know to set you up, Cleta. So make sure that they know that you're going to be reaching out to them. And I teach them to say, my director's so awesome. She's no pressure. She's going to walk you through. She's so great. Set her up. Set her up. Because I know it can be a little nerve-wracking for somebody who hasn't met us. They think, oh my gosh, she's scary.
Right.
We're not scary.
That's
I want them to be successful.
And someone asked, Jana asked, when you do this virtually, do you actually share the pages on the screen? Do you hold them up, or do you screen share? And are you doing this like FaceTime, Zoom, Facebook Messenger?
Most of them I'm doing just over the phone.
Oh, so you're just doing it over the phone. You're looking at the pages. They're not even looking at them. Okay.
So lately, that's the way we've been going, because I say it's like green eggs and ham. You can do it anywhere from anywhere, anyway. Yeah. But if they can get on and FaceTime you or Zoom, then yes, I would definitely share the pages.
Okay. And I know y'all, the thing about the Zoom and the FaceTime, there's two things about it. Some will be like, if they're in business, it's no big deal because they already been Zooming. They know about this. If they've never Zoomed, and they've been stuck at home and they haven't put on lip gloss in 8 weeks, they don't want anybody to see them because their grays are 2 inches. They feel like they look horrible, and they're like, no. So I would give them the option for sure. If they want to say, I'd love to see you, what do you feel comfortable with? And they're like, no, but I'll call you, so I definitely would give them the choice. So, okay, and let me look over here on Facebook. Everybody's wanting the notebook, yes. And if you're on Cheetah Nation, all you have to do is search, and it's already posted because I posted it in February. But what I'll do is I'll post it again because I know how stuff like that is. All right, let me see if we have any more questions over here. Hang on just a second, Stacey. And y'all can write, if you see any other ones on there, y'all can let us know what they are. Okay, I don't see any over there so far. Okay, so that was really awesome. It's simple. It's not difficult. I think even a new consultant could do it. So 3 no's in a row to the opportunity, but you're not just winging it, and you're not just calling them saying, hey, y'all want to do this? No. Okay, that's 1. All right, Cleta, I got my 10 no's. You have to go through the notebook. And I will tell you, back in the dark ages, when I became a sales director, we all had recruiting notebooks. And that was our crutch when we sat down to talk to someone. We just had a guide, and we went through the pages, and we didn't read necessarily every single thing, but we did go through it like that. So I just want y'all to know that this is going to help you when you feel like you don't know what to say. And when you're newer, you can say, now, and sometimes I just tell my consultants to say, I'm supposed to ask you 5 questions, okay? And then it's like, it takes the pressure off. It's just like closing the sale with the, when you have your flip chart and in the back, it has 5 questions. You just say, hey, I just got to ask you these 5. There's 5 questions on here. I'm just going to ask you. Okay. And then you don't feel weird because they know you're just reading what it says. So, if you have to just use that as a crutch and you say, my director just needs me to ask you 5 questions, you can do that too. So, do we have any other questions? If you're on Zoom and you'd like to unmute yourself and ask a question right now, why don't you go ahead and do that? And while we got Stacy, we'll see if there's anybody else has a question.
Hey, Cleta.
All right, go ahead, Jenna.
Stacy, I was just curious, do you just fill out their answers like on a notebook paper, or do you have like a corresponding sheet that you write their answers on?
I just have a notebook for team building interviews, and so it's
perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Good question. Okay, anybody else have a question? Consultants or directors? Y'all feel like this helps you a little bit?
Hey, yes. Cleta, one more thing.
Okay.
Ask for referrals. So if they're not interested, so this one referred Aunt Nancy and Michelle. So you just never know. You never know who's going to lead you to that person.
That's so true, because I have interviewed women sometime in their maybe 60s or even older than that, 70s, and they're like, you know what? I don't want to do this, but I love the product, but my niece would be so awesome. So I think that is a great idea. Everybody should give you a referral. Okay, good. Okay, you guys, what I'd like you to do is I'm just going to let our directors just pop on here, and if you'd like to just affirm our beautiful Stacy for taking her time out tonight of her $1 million year and give us, her hour of wisdom. I just appreciate it so much, and it's just when you have someone that's done it over and over and over, you can trust what she says. She's gotten results. What do you have to lose by trying? By actually trying. And just remember the first thing that she said to you, and what that was if you happen to write it down, was you make a list of 10 people. 3 are people you want to travel with. 3 are people that are so awesome you think they would never do it. Like they already have an awesome career or whatever, something about their life is already awesome. And you tell them when you call them on the script, in fact, I'll put the script on here, but you tell them, say, you're one of the 3 people I thought, who is so awesome that I know would never want to do this, because your life is already amazing, but I love your opinion, and then the other 3 were people who you think really would rock the business. And then 1, just someone else, a wild card, a random. Okay. That's the 10 people that you start with. And just like the beginning of 2 weeks ago, right before the E-Start, we told everybody to do their 25 people that they were going to talk to. It's just like that tonight. So get that piece of paper out and say, I'm not going to bed till I write these 10 names down. And if you need to have a little prayer meeting with Jesus before you do it, to who you want to put on that list, then do it, because he'll help you get some names. I promise you. Okay, so let me just, go ahead, Stacy.
So Erica, one of the people on her list was Bernadette. She went through the recruiting notebook. She was a 1. Erica said, what is it going to take to be a 4? She goes, I need to come in and have a facial. She came in and had a facial. She was a 2.5. And Erica said to her again, what would it take for you to be a 4? She goes, I think I need to come to your meeting and just get a feel for your group. She came to the meeting, signed up. 1 to 4. You just have to layer some of these people and ask that question. And by the way, she's going to be a red jacket, Bernadette, this month.
Man.
I know.
Some of us did not sign up on the very first ask. I didn't.
3 times.
It's not that I had to be layered, but I just had to figure out how to get some money. And it just took me 3 months to figure that out, But if you didn't, some of y'all just went, yeah, I'm in. But think about it. What if she had never followed up on me and all the people I've recruited, and if she's never followed up on you, So thank you for saying that, Stacy. Okay, Lori, I'm going to unmute you first.
Hey, I just want to say thank you so much for sharing this. I remember the old recruiting notebooks too, and I don't know where that happened along the wayside that we got out of that, going over the Mrs. F cab that we've done so many times. So I love this, and it just goes back to, there's nothing really new. It's just a different approach to it and a different language. And I love some of the circles that you put on there, or that some of the others did, about the different reasons that people do it today, because it has really changed. The world is a little bit different now, and that perspective is just so good, and I'm anxious to try it. So thank you so much for taking time for us.
Thank you. Girl, your lips. Woo, I love them.
Right?
Thank you.
So someone said, what is the first group of 3 people you have on your list? That's who would you love to travel with? 3 people you'd love to travel the world with. Or go to the beach with if you can't think world. Okay. Okay, Sayla, you want to go next? Sayla? Did I accidentally take her off? Oh my gosh, I hope I didn't. I think I might.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead. I thought I deleted you for a minute.
Stacy, thank you so much for pouring into us, and congratulations on your wild success in Mary Kay.
Thank you.
Your words are tried and true, and you have done it over and over and over again. So thank you so much for your wisdom. The recruiting notebook is an awesome tool, but what I love most is your list of 10, because I think some of us get in the rut of just saying, oh, I'm going to call the same people, or that, I think she would be awesome. But this list just helps us think outside the box. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So true. Okay, Allison, you want to chime in here, and then we'll do Jana?
Yeah, sure. Can you guys hear me?
We can.
Allison!
All right. What's up, Stacy? Oh my goodness, my friend. I love you. I'm so glad I got a chance to see you. Congratulations. I can't wait to squeeze you whenever we have seminar, whenever that is. This really inspired me, because I think that I can feel the consultants getting confident by having a guide. You know what I mean? And having something to follow. And I just think that this gives them permission to ask those questions that they want to ask. I love what you said about who do you think their life is so good that they would never do it? Like, yes, please, let's introduce those people, because when we're being introduced to people that, really struggle for $30, it's much harder and much more of a challenging business than those of the women that in your life that you think would never do it because you thought, oh, she has enough money, or whatever the case is. So I love the questions. And my prayer for the consultants is just that they'll see the workbook all the way through, that they'll ask the questions, they'll turn the page, go to the next thing, ask the closing questions. Because I think if you ask the directors on here, most of them will say they didn't say yes right away. Most of them don't. And they take time to make those decisions. And I love the layering process that you talked about with your gal that came to the meeting, or whatever it was. And, to couple that, I mean, obviously with it being virtual, if she can't go to a unit meeting, she can have a virtual coffee with your director, or a virtual, party. Almost all the directors are doing something virtually, a skincare class virtually. You can just invite her to the next thing. It's just done online. So I'm just so, I'm excited. I can't wait to get my hands on the notebook, because I think I'm going to use it on Tuesday. I'm doing debuts, and it gives me a guide. So it's like, because, we know so much, we can be all over the place. Right.
Right.
And so, I love that direction. So thank you, Stacy. It's so good to see you.
You too. And you're so right about the tool, that they can learn it and go do it. So my Allison is the one who did a gold medal last month, and she had 17 shares. Went on gold medal, went on target for a car with 7,500 in production. And I'm telling you, a few months ago, she did not, she was doing interviews but not closing. And this tool is helping her close. Mm-hmm. Sugar shot women.
You know what we're going to do in the Cheetah Nation? We're not going to count an interview unless you do this. Because, sometimes I say, how many interviews? And you're like, oh, I did 9. But really, did you go through it and do a good job of asking all the questions? And I think, because usually, like she said, you can't get 9 or 10 no's in a row if you're doing it correctly. So,
Cleta, can I just add to that? Because what you said it fast, but I want to make sure, because when you said, oh, well, I asked her, she told me no. Oh, I got to know. It's like, no, if she tells you no, you have to say, great, but you've got to listen to the whole thing first before it counts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because really that's the key, is that, 100 no's. Oh, when people come and tell me they got 100 no's, I'm like, how could you have possibly gotten 100 no's? I mean, you've done it wrong 100 times, So I love this, because if you can truly get through the notebook with 10 straight no's, with assistance from your director, then there's other things. There's other things to talk about with your director. You know what I mean? But just asking somebody and getting a no doesn't count. So we object. We rebuke that no. Sorry.
Yes.
That doesn't count.
And you know what? The thing is, we don't even ask them no to the end. So you're not asking them at the beginning. You're asking them to let you go through this with them. And then at the end, you get the yes or no. So you may have to ask, if you have your 10 and some of them go, no, I will not let you go over it with me, then you're going to have to put somebody else on your list. That don't count as a no, right, Stacy?
Right.
You got to get 10 yeses to listen to you. Okay. Yeah. But if you use the script that I'm going to give you, that she gave me, you'll get them, because matter of fact, I have it pulled up here. Let me just share that with y'all, but I will give it to you. Just so you'll have it. Okay. So here's the script. Okay. It says, and Stacy says, I like voice-to-voice conversations. Make sure you talk with them and ask them how they're doing first. Okay, so that's important, that you don't just text this. Like, see if you can talk to them. Okay, it says, hey, Susie, I'm in the special no challenge to share Mary Kay with 3 sharp women that I would love to travel with, or whose lives are so amazing they would never consider Mary Kay, or, one of the other things. And I immediately thought of you. And it's a no challenge because I need you to tell me no when we're all done, LOL. Or you can just laugh out loud instead of say LOL. Okay, that way I can truly just practice using our new sharing notebook. Would you be game to help me out with my practice? And then if she says, sure, what do I need to do? You say, great, I'm going to ask you some questions and take you through a little information about Mary Kay, and then ask you a few more questions. Do you have time right now, or can we set up a time that'd be more convenient? Okay, so there it is right there. I'm going to actually put this in the chat box. I'll put it on Facebook's too, so that you can actually copy paste right here. So technology is so wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stop our recording. Stay right there, Stacy. And well, let me just go ahead and say this to Stacy, and then I'll stop it. Stacy, thank you. Thank you. This is exactly what I needed, exactly what our unit needs. And all of the units on here, I can speak freely to say we are looking for unit growth. And for us to meet the goals that we have, each of us have goals in our unit. And right now, I believe each of the directors on here are doing a pretty good job of getting, for the unit they have, are producing just about what Mary Kay says you can produce. In other words, it's usually 33 to 40%, usually 33 to 35% of the unit as far as who's ordering. Does that make sense? And they're hitting that. So the only way to get further is to have more people in your unit, myself included. So we really do want a team build, and y'all, this can really be it. And we can look back when it's June the 4th and say, our unit got this many team members. It's because on May the 4th, may the 4th be with you, we decided to do this no challenge and really use the recruiting notebook and see what we could do. It's a challenge. So all it's like what we said is prove me wrong. So Stacy, thank you for going over it, making it so simple. And I just appreciate your time and effort tonight. So hang loose. I'm going to stop the recording. So thank you guys for those of you that are watching this later.